Is it working? Okay. Hi guys, and why is everything so dark over here? It's like nighttime. Damn. Let's warp up to the next morning. Very cool shot of the moon though. That is absolutely amazing over here. But yeah, now we'll go to the morning. It will raise up, and it will unfortunately not see it anymore. One thing to note about the moon, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but in case of Kerbal space program, unlike the real Earth, the moon is actually on a straight equatorial orbit with Kerbin, and that makes it a lot easier to get to, unlike the regular ones. Wow, we got the interesting new like orbit mission over here. I think it's like a satellite mission. Temperature surveys, place satellite in equatorial orbit. Yeah, there you go. This is a pretty massive mission, if I might say so myself. It's a lot of money involved into that. So I think it's gonna expire soon. I think I'm gonna grab it. I'm not gonna do it right away. Probably will do it into another episode or something like that. But I will grab it just to have it, over here and make sure we don't lose it. But anyway, temperature surveys of Minmus. I mean, obviously, it's a lot of money involved, and there's no discussion about that. But these are really annoying to do because, as I explained, I have explained how it works before. So we have to go all the way to Minmus, and then we have to go to all these 5 different sites and collect survey data on all of them. And yeah, and it's like over here they want it wants on the surface, so it wants to land. Over here they want like above 6 kilometers, above 3 kilometers, below 5 kilometers, below 3 kilometers. So we'll have to like fly all over the place, and you might think that, oh, it's pretty easy to fly, like there's no atmosphere, there's no drag, you just go into an orbit and fly to all of the places. It's not that easy, man. It's really complicated. It's like these missions take you like entire days to finish. But anyway, what I wanted to say before I start my the missions that I do actually want to start is that from now on, considering how extensively long the last mission was to make a complete mission to the moon and back, or man, or however you want to pronounce it, I have decided. Let's upgrade the runway, sure. I don't want to like try to take off from a bunch of dirt. But I have decided that from now on, all the missions, like I'm only going to show like parts of the mission in a single episode and not show an entire mission all the way. And that way I can show like multiple, the start of like multiple missions, but at the same time I can keep the videos within a reasonable length. So for example, right now I want to make 2 missions. I want to send 1 mission all the way to Minmus, quite obviously, so it's our next target, mission all the way to Minmus and back. And I also want to send another mission that will basically leave Kerbin's sphere of influence and then come back, a mission that will go all the way into the orbit of the sun, and there will be new scientific data for that one as well. So we'll take in the Mooncraft. I think that was the one that we have used. No, the second Mooncraft, of course. The first one did not work very well. We're gonna do some very slight modifications to it, and that is that we now have the Man's Hell engine, which is like a huge chunk of like raw power that we just attach to it. And these are, I think, the Reliant. Yes, there you go, very good. We're gonna keep those. What else do we have over here that is interesting? We can make more advanced planes now, that is true, with the new components. Heat shield is on. We still have the radial decouplers. We can also make like better solar panels. I did not remember making the solar panels this badly, but here we go. We're gonna take some of this off. We're gonna keep like 4 of them here, and then we're gonna go and put 2 of these ones, which are very good because they are deployable. So we can deploy them while we are in space and retract them when we are back. Very good. Communitrons, lights, and everything else should be pretty much the same. We do have the new mobile processing lab, which is fucking huge. But yeah, the idea of it is that you send it up together with scientists, and you can use on-board testing facility a piece of paper with a pencil to certify astronauts for more advanced tasks. Can be used to increase Kerbal levels without returning to the Kerbal Space Center. Right, so you can level up your Kerbals over here without having to return back, and you can use them to process scientific data so they can yield even more science. But that's way too complicated business for us that we're not gonna go through. Okay, so the engine and the decouplers and the four ones will have to burn out at the same time. Then this detachment, then it's this one, engine, this one, final engine, final detachment, parachute. So this should be able to do both missions, both the mission on Minmus and the mission to like exit the Earth's sphere of influence. So we're just gonna go through the launching phase. For the Minmus, we're gonna launch the Minmus one first, and we're gonna send in Valentina Kerman. Jebediah Kerman will remain in history as the first Kerbal to land on the moon, and as such we'll have Valentina Kerman remain in history as the first Kerbal to land on Minmus. So we're gonna save it up and we're gonna send it. We also need to do a bunch of other missions. Obviously, we also need to redo the missions that we have in other places on Kerbin to use like the scientific modules on them. So we have to like redo the mission on the North Pole, on the desert, on the mountains. We'll have to do it at some point, and it's pretty difficult and annoying. But what I'm thinking of is I'm going to launch some probes and do them with our engineer and scientist guys, because we need to level those up as well for like future missions. So yeah, now we have retracted it, so we're gonna launch. Things should go on pretty similarly. So if I remember correctly, I saw some of the comments in like Northernlion's videos, and I think this type of arrangement of like rockets and fuel is called like asparagus, I think, and it's pretty neat. I did not know that little bit of information. So even an experienced player like myself, if I don't toot my own horn too much, does learn new things about this game, every single day pretty much. Okay, let us slow down a little bit. I mean, throttle down. We're still accelerating because we have a lot more thrust now with this man's hell engine, and with these additional engines we should have no problem whatsoever to do both missions. I hope I haven't forgot anything on here. We will need to like redo missions on the moon like multiple times, and that's alright. Go on the 45-degree, stop right there, throttle up. Very, very good. Almost to perfection. These gravity turns. I'm gonna go all the way up to like 75. That should be 76. Good enough. I'm gonna push it further to the 90-degree mark or the horizon. We are in pretty thin atmosphere, so we can start like to deploy our solar panels, but I'm going to wait till we are really out of it, so we are 100% safe. And yeah, so basically in this I'm only going to showcase off like the burn towards Minmus, and that's it. The transfer is gonna take like a week or something, and instead of like showing how I do that, I'm gonna go and start the other mission right away, and I'll have I'll have the missions spread across multiple videos, but I can showcase multiple missions in a single video. That's basically how I want things to work out. I hope you pretty much understand. Let's turn on the lights. It seems to be a little bit darker as we're running onto another side, and let us turn on extend the solar panels. We are now into space, so we can begin the burn to get into orbit, and we should have more than enough fuel to do it. especially considering how efficiently we have done it. We can even burn a little bit down, you know, a more aggressive burn to get into orbit so we don't extend our apoapsis like unnecessarily. Alright, it's looking pretty good. But yeah, this, as I said, this should be what we need to like get into orbit, and then this will be the transfer. And you know, I mean, we have already been through this before. I don't need to like explain it too much, like all the way. Unequal orbit, that's a really rookie mistake. I should have, I mean, what you have to do is to like wait and get to apoapsis and then burn again, and then wait and get to apoapsis and burn again, and keep doing that. So you get like a roughly equal orbit, but I'm not too patient enough to do that. Anyway, we still have some fuel left, so we can begin our burn to Minmus. Now it's gonna be a little bit different because, as you see, Minmus, unlike the moon, is not on a like a straight orbit, and it has a little bit of an inclination, and you have to keep that into account. You can try to meet it at the points where you have like the same inclination. That is possible, but it's not going to work out that way every time. So instead we're gonna try, and I'm gonna showcase how you use the other few buttons that we have over here on our nav ball, like the purple ones and the blue ones. So the transfer works the same. You like align it to like the place roughly like this, and we're gonna burn. But as you see, we're burning away to a place where we don't really have an encounter with it, and because it's like way lower. So what we'll have to do is when it gets like that, is way too far away, so we'll try and do it something along those lines. Looks pretty decent. And then you'll need to have like a secondary burn roughly on the ascending node. I think that's the best way to do it. And you're going to burn, I think, like this. There you go. And we're gonna have the encounter happening. It's almost. I think we'll need like, oh no, it's very close. I need to watch it. See, the problem is that you cannot really see. Yeah, we are way further away. That is the issue. So you'll need to, oh, there you go. We had an encounter right there. There we go. Something along those lines. We will even have like a secondary encounter. That's pretty interesting. Alright, and from there we can maneuver it regularly. Minmus has a way weaker gravity, so we're not too afraid of like wasting too much fuel to like try and land on it. So we'll do these two maneuvers, and then we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next phase. And obviously quick saving is very important, so let us not forget about that. I'm gonna go around, get ourselves into the right position at the right time. I think we will want to be roughly, we're gonna try and move the ship. A little bit difficult, you know, the bigger the ship, the more difficult it is to like log it around over here. And that is with the control surface, so without this it would have been like nearly impossible, and that's why you will need to have like reaction control systems later on in the game. As before, we'll need to start a little bit earlier the burn than usual, because oh, and as before, look at that, you do actually have to burn towards it. As you can see, you know, there's Minmus right there. But yeah, it's a little bit more complicated than that. Start the burn earlier because we do have to change to our second stage, which is weaker. But now we're gonna do it, and we're gonna have like our primary burn where you get all the way over there. Closest approach over here, that's in like the third one. And as you can see, like we're gonna get there, the encounter, in approximately 11 days, almost 12 days, because as I said, the day is only 6 hours over here. Alright, let's slow our roll over here. Get ourselves roughly like that. Okay, we are pretty much in line. So we're gonna go ahead, do a small quick save over here while we are still in safe and sound, and we're gonna warp into this next maneuver node, which will now be our primary maneuver node, but we can redo it just in case you have any doubts about how this is going to work. There you go, this is way better. It actually worked better because once I start burning I can actually see how the orbits will look, so I can do it better than, you know, how the maneuver nodes tells us. Let's see. I want it to be like, whoa, that is too much. You have to be very precise. That is the real problem with these ones. You cannot like really drag too hard up because you'll just fling yourself. Well, not fling, you'll fling your projected trajectory. We'd even have a moon encounter with this burn. That's pretty impressive. But yeah, it's annoying because it like I feel like it's too high up basically, and we'll need like additional maneuvers to like get it. Like, can we get it just ever so slightly lower? I think we'll have to work with it basically. Like, if we burn too much, our orbit is gonna become very rough. Anyway, we'll go ahead and do it like this. We only need a 4-second burn, so that's to show just how little bit of power you need to perform these maneuvers while you're in space. And we will need to do it on the marker that we have put, and that is like it will be close to this marker. I forgot its name. What is it called? So it's like the ascending node and the descending node. Is it like the descending vector? I think. I'm not exactly sure. I'll have to look it up. What these other ones are called, just to like you know, make things accurate. So I'm gonna look it up just after I make the burn because I don't want to miss it or mess it up at the same time. So we're going to wait until we get to like roughly 2 seconds. That's when we burn. Careful now. And come on. Alright, something got slightly messed up to how I expected things to work. How are we now? Okay, we're a little bit too behind. What we can do is to burn on the prograde and we'll catch it up on the way back, basically. Yes. There you go. We have an encounter. I'm gonna work with that from there. So what are these called? Like the prograde, antigrade. Let me check it out. So Kerbal space program, maneuver node markers, or the nav ball, I guess we can also call it. Feel it. Oh, it's the normal and anti-normal. There you go. So you have prograde and retrograde, which we have already learned about. We have the purple one, which is the, you know, we can get it like over here. We have the purple ones, which is the normal and anti-normal, and we have the blue ones, which is the radial in and the radial out. So there you go. If you want to be like 100% accurate with your namings, those are the ones. So now we're just going to leave this ship on its way to Minmus, which will take like fucking 9 days, I think. Apoapsis encounter. Where is the, damn it, encounter? That is going to be 11 days and 2 hours, and we're gonna go ahead and launch the other mission. And we are already 20 minutes in, so yeah. This other mission though will be a little bit more simpler. We are using a lot of money for them, but we're gonna get a lot of money back because we are going to, you know, push the boundaries of our space program to unprecedented limits. So it's the same ship, just going to launch it, and we can do the missions while these guys are launched with our engineer and scientist. So this will work pretty much similarly instead of, but it will actually be even simpler because we will not need to mess and fiddle around with the normal and anti-normal vectors, and instead we'll just need to burn the prograde marker until we exit the sphere of influence, and then wait there, and then, you know, make our way back, hopefully. Shouldn't be too difficult, all things considered, but you know, it's scary to think about because we will burn ourselves and Jebediah with the ship outside the sphere of influence, like completely. It's a very scary prospect. But Jebediah is a confident man. He has been on the moon, so god damn it, he's not gonna end it until he lands on the sun. Even though that's not possible, and it's called Kerbal in this game, so, you know, loving how these things fall back. From what I know, in reality, what the space program that, you know, are existent in nations across the world is that they are actually attaching parachutes to all the radial engines as well, so they can recover them, you know, and they don't just like dump them like we do, you know. I mean, I think it was done like initially, but at this point, you know, they are trying to like save as many costs as possible, you know, reuse them and not risk, you know, landing them into like populated areas and have them explode, or even just, even if you think about pollution, you know, it's a good enough reason to like attach parachutes and do that. Fortunately, that doesn't really work in Kerbal Space Program because they disappear after a certain distance, and what you'd have to do is to like basically switch to them and look at them as they land and recover them manually, but that means that, you know, you'll have no one controlling the ship, so that is you know, a little bit problematic. Anyhow, we're gonna go ourselves right up here. We're gonna go deploy the solar panels as before. Very good, and we're gonna start our burn right on there. Get ourselves into orbit similar as before, and then burn ourselves in and outside of the sphere of influence. We also need to take control of the probe very shortly to burn it back into the atmosphere if we want to return it. I mean, we don't have to, but, you know, and I'm not sure why am I returning it, because we're not gonna get any new or interesting science from it. What I should do with it, I think a better idea would be to make a burn that will allow it to encounter the moon, and then, whoa, careful there, do we have it? Almost. So let's do it, you know, more efficiently. Let's wait until we are at the apoapsis and then burn again there. There you go. Come on, Jebediah, move that ship. Fucking get out and push it if you have to. It is possible to do that actually if you have a very small ship. I have done it once, you know. I had like a very small ship coming back from the moon, and I ran out of fuel just like very with the periapsis just above the 70,000. So what I did, I got out the Kerbal, activated his like you know, jetpack, and I burned, you know, I pushed against the ship and burned with the jetpack in order to like slow it down and bring it back into the atmosphere. And that is a valid strategy. It is very hard, but it is doable. And it's also available because the EVA jetpack has infinite fuel, provided that you go back into the crew hatch from time to time. Alright, let's just burn to maximum. Should quick save, by the way. Saving, very good. Then detach, start the next stage. I'm just going to burn ourselves all the way out. With this mission we might even have more fuel than with the missions to land on the moon and Minmus, and that is because we don't need to use any fuel to land, you know, to slow ourselves against the gravity of these planets. We'll only need to burn all the way out, and then we'll need to burn back in, and as you have seen, you know, once you're at the apoapsis, it's a lot easier to burn. The only problem is that we'll be coming in at a very fast speed, so you know, we'll have to take overheating into consideration. But yeah, this is all that we need. So in 16 days from now, Jebediah will be leaving the Kerbin, you know, system of like Kerbin and its adjacent moons, and it will go out in a mission around space, which oh, there you go, you can actually see where in the orbit will that escape happen. It will happen like roughly around here, and then we'll make another burn to bring ourselves back. Like, it should be very, very easy, all things considered. T1 year, really? That is gonna take us that long to get here? I guess it's not counting the fact that okay, so you need to make it like over here, 26 days. There you go. So then we'll burn something like this, I think, to get ourselves back. We might need to like burn a little bit radial in, actually. That might be what we need to do. Let me see. I think we need to target Kerbin. Alright, let's close the maneuver node and try it again. 25 days. Okay, let's see. Where is that encounter happening? Do we not get an encounter right away? Damn. It's a little bit harder. Wait, I think I saw an encounter right around there. If we burn radially in, I think we are having encounters. Yeah, there you go. We will be getting encounters. Well, anyway, we'll leave that to where we get to it. In the meanwhile, Jebediah can enjoy the trip of leaving Kerbin and going further away than any Kerbal has ever been before, further pushing the boundaries of our space program. And in the meanwhile, we have quick saved, right? Okay, very good. We're gonna go ahead and return the space center. Problem is that at this point we will need like multiple quick save slots, because you know, we might have missions that we like how they go and we want to keep them, but we also might have missions that are not really going very well. Also, we should like go ahead and like terminate any debris that we have that we cannot get to, like all of these mooncraft debris that do remain in orbit. Very important not to terminate actual ships with the crew in them. Have to be careful about that. Alright, so I didn't get any new science, and obviously I didn't get any new money because the missions are not yet completed. Oh my god. These fucking tourists want to land on the fucking moon. Are you serious? That is ridiculous. Oh, and saving a Kerbal from like the orbit, that is even more of insane of a mission, so we're not even going to bother trying to do that. We'll try to do the satellite mission and the VIP mission, I guess. And that one is also pretty insane. But yeah, we'll probably try to do those together with you know, what were their name again? Completely forgot the other two guys. I think it was Bill and Bob Kerman, so we can level them up as well. And yeah, we'll see about that in the next episodes. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Make sure you leave a like, subscribe to see more. The Kerbal space program is rapidly advancing to unprecedented heights. Oh yeah, we also have the flagpole. If you want to like change the flag, you can actually select it over here. See you guys next time. Bye bye.